Here are 5 things you didn't know about Ripple and XRP. So whether you're a smarty pants about Ripple or you know nothing about Ripple, I want you to let me know how many of these you knew already in the comments. And as the thumbnail suggests, the first one goes all the way back to 2004. And you might be thinking, 2004 with Ripple? Yeah. 2004. Bitcoin was created in 2009 after the whole financial crash that happened. But the company we now know as Ripple existed under a different name, and it's not OpenCoin. OpenCoin was the name of the company in 2012, and before that, it was Ripple Pay. Now, Ripple Pay sounds like really familiar, but actually Ripple Pay isn't familiar. It was the first name that they came out with, and it was created by a guy called Ryan Fugger. That almost sounds like a curse word in another dimension. And it wasn't until 2012 when Chris Larsen and Jeb McCaleb joined, and that formed what we now know as Ripple. Did you know this one? Let me know in the comments. Number 2 is Codius. Now, we're very familiar with all the smart contract platforms that exist today, and if you're not, well, there's lots of them. Well, Ripple actually have their own response to that, and that's called Codius. And yes, Ripple's mostly known for their payment solutions. They also do smart contracts too. And actually, originally, the idea was shelved, like put on the side in 2015. But in 2018, something changed and they brought it back. And it's also worth noting that the Chief Technology Officer at Ripple, David Schwartz, he is a massive fan of Codius, and that should say something. Coming in at number 3 is Ripple's Xspring initiative. I don't know if you're supposed to say Spring or Xspring. You'll have to correct me in the comments. But this is an ecosystem initiative, and it's aimed at providing support and funding and partnerships for all the developers and entrepreneurs working on the XRP ledger, specifically projects that utilize the token XRP. And so them doing that allows the whole ecosystem to kind of thrive and push on forward. And also what's great for us as people who are invested in XRP also helps to drive the price and add value onto the ledger in XRP. And hopefully that causes the price of an XRP token to go up. And I know lots of blockchains do this. They kind of help fund and develop these teams and platforms that are building on their own ledgers, on their blockchains. But most people don't know that Ripple have this in place as well. Number 4, we have Ripple's energy efficient technology. I know that sounded boring. And you probably knew that it was energy efficient, but I want to put the extra context into it here. And that extra context is Ripple work with the governments around the world. Like, they're ticking all the boxes. They're jumping through all the hoops, right? If there's hoops for regulation that they need to jump through, they're going to do it. If there's hoops they need to jump through for the World Economic Forum, they're going to do it. ISO, whatever it is, they're jumping through the hoops so that they can attain that worldwide institutional acceptance. And one of the huge things, whether you like it or not, is this whole net zero thing. All the massive companies around the world, basically all the global leaders, are all pushing towards net zero. And that means we need to be energy efficient. So when we're looking at future technologies that are gonna take over different systems around this world, they're gonna basically dismiss all of them that aren't energy efficient. And this is really the main reason why Bitcoin simply cannot do what is required to save this financial system, right? It's just too energy intensive. So how the XRP ledger does this is that it uses a consensus mechanism called federated consensus. And that actually consumes significantly less energy compared to the traditional proof of work systems. And by the way, Bitcoin is proof of work. And so because they're so eco-friendly and sustainable, XRP's technology and Ripple's technology, that puts them in a perfect position to be widely accepted on the scale that they're trying to do anyway. And I think this was on purpose. Number 5, and the most wholesome one for sure, is Ripple's charitable work. There's been multiple occasions in history when Ripple have contributed tens of millions of dollars to charity, like DonorsChoose.org that received $29 million worth of XRP, basically all to help public school teachers in the US. And then most recently, Sendy Young, who's very high up at Ripple, posted on LinkedIn the other day and announced their partnership with Great Ormond Street Hospital. And that's a children's charity here in the UK. And they're basically giving tons of money to this charity. And it's really nice to know. The general sentiment in this audience is that Ripple is just a great company. And it's just nice to know that they're actually putting money where their mouth is, right? They're changing the world and also making it better. And the final fact about Ripple and XRP is that, did you know that Ripple or XRP investors have the biggest brains out of all of crypto investors? And also, did you know that Bitcoin investors have the smallest brain. Amazing scientific facts here on this channel. If you're interested in seeing more from this channel and more like this, then click the subscribe button. The video that is below is one of the videos that the algorithm, the all-knowing algorithm, has suggested that you watch next on this channel because it thinks you will like that video. So go and check that video out. Click the subscribe button if you want to see more. Stay emotionless, and I'll see you in the next one.